Seeing his father a little angry, Zin hurriedly stood up, bowed, and said, "Dad, calm down your anger. I didn't mean that. I am just worried about Ruoli. Anyway, Ruoli is my flesh. She is currently unsure of her life and death. Her whereabouts are unknown. I am indeed too anxious." Elder Cheng looked at him coldly, and said word by word, "Zin, to do big things, you must have the strong heart of a lion and not change your face, and the disappearance of an illegitimate girl will make you panic like this? So what? If I die today, can you still manage the Su family?" As soon as Zin heard this, his whole person was instantly worried. He murmured in his heart, "The old man started to doubt my heart and my ability. This is not a good sign. If I show too much concern about Ruoli on this matter and behave too nervously, the old man will definitely think that I am weak and not strong enough to be promoted to the position of Su family patriarch. If it is because of Ruoli's matter that affects the old man's judgment of the successor, then it is really not worth the gain." Thinking of this, Zin said with an awe-inspiring expression, "Dad, don't worry. No matter how this matter turns out, I will never let it affect me." Old man Su looked at him suspiciously, and said coldly, "Will it affect you? It's not your mouth that has the final say, but my old man's eyes have the final say." Zin hurriedly said, "Dad, you are right. I will show you with practical actions." Elder Su gave a hum and waved his hand. "Okay, you can go now." Zin respectfully said, "Good dad, I'll go out first." Changfeng coldly reminded, "If Ruoli is still alive, then I believe she will contact you. If she contacts you, you must tell me the first." Zin said without hesitation, "Dad, don't worry. If she contacts me, I will report to you as soon as possible." Changfeng gave a hum and waved his hand. "Go." Zin quickly turned around and hurriedly left Old Su's study. At this time, Zin's back was already wet with cold sweat. After living in a rich family for a long time, he increasingly felt that the rich family is no different from the ancient palace-dwelling families. The lord of the wealthy family in the ancient days would be a king and his heir would be the prince below. Although he has been appointed by the old man as the prince, who will inherit the Su family in the future, he still holds the power, and he must always be cautious and walking on thin ice. Otherwise, it is very likely that he might say something wrong and provoke the Lord's anger upon himself, then he will mercilessly be dismissed. There are so many princes who were deposed because of their words and demeanor who rebelled against the Lord in ancient times. World history is full of such events. A wise man must learn from history and correct his course. Falling from grace for the prince was not the only worry. There are historical proofs when the princes had to the fact trial, house arrests, and face the death penalty for defying an order from their kings. Zin was also worried that if he caused the old man's dissatisfaction because of Ruoli's affairs, and if the old man abolished him, his loss would be extremely heavy, and most of his life's efforts would be wasted. Thinking of this, Zin decided that regarding Ruoli, he must control his emotions as much as possible in front of the old man, and must not let the old man have any dissatisfaction with him. The daughter is important, but the position of the Su family patriarch is even more important. What's more, this daughter is still his illegitimate daughter. Here, the old man Su rushed into Zin and made a fire, and he was more or less worried. In fact, the main reason why he got angry with Zin was mainly to hide his guilty conscience. After all, he made the decision to betray Ruoli. The old man had already settled an account. The crimes committed by Ruoli in Japan are extremely heinous. He really wants to buy the relevant personnel to release her. Not to mention the huge cost, it is easy to offend the Japanese government. Therefore, he planned to cooperate with the Japanese self-defense force, get Ruoli out by himself, and then let the self-defense force capture her back and sell the self-defense force a favor. After all, the Japanese self-defense force still has a lot of energy in the Japanese government. As long as it has a good relationship with the self-defense force, it will be very convenient to develop in Japan in the future and cooperate with the Japanese government. However, the old man never dreamed that such a big change would happen to the original seamless plan. Ruoli's disappearance put him in a dilemma now. On the one hand, he did not know how to explain to the Japanese self-defense forces and how to eliminate the indignation of the Japanese people towards the Su family. On the other hand, he didn't know whether Ruoli was dead or alive. If she was still alive, would she already be cognizant to his doings in secret? What if she knew about it and retaliate in the future? While he was irritable, his most trusted subordinate hurried over and said in a low voice, "Master, Masaji Honda of the Japanese Self-Defense Force has called again. He has given us 24 hours. If we don't hand over Ruoli to them in the next 24 hours, the $1 billion deposit we gave them will not come back. Also, Masaji Honda is very angry now. He thinks we are playing with them on purpose, so he said, if we don't hand over Ruoli, then he will assume we are his enemies, and this will not end up well for us." Elder Su sighed and cursed, very annoyed. Damn. Where did Ruoli go? A breathing person, she can't disappear out of thin air. The subordinate hurriedly said, "Now all the police in Japan are looking for the whereabouts of Ruoli. The self-defense forces are also investigating all passing ships at sea. If Ruoli is still in Japan, it is only a matter of time before she is found. She has already left Japan, so she must have left Japan by water. Based on the time since her disappearance, she should have returned to China." Elder Su frowned tightly and said coldly, "If it's the former, it's okay, but if it's the latter, it will be troublesome. She has no reason not to contact Su's family when she returns to China unless she already knows the truth. In that case, we will face trouble in the future." After that, he immediately ordered, "Immediately send someone to monitor the He family. If Ruoli returns to China, if she does not contact us, she will definitely contact her family and closely monitor all the He family's movements. Report any disturbances to me immediately."